All right, man. All right, all right. Y'all put a one in the chat if y'all can hear me, man. Let me know if y'all can hear and see me loud and clear, man. Put a one in the chat for me. We'll see what we got, man. Wait for y'all brothers to say something because I don't know if y'all can hear me yet. Yo, let me turn my numbers up just a little bit over here. All right, now y'all let me know if y'all can hear me loud and clear. Maybe peeking out just a little bit right there. All right. All right, good, good. We're in the building, man. Salute to the Kingdom of Ray, man. I appreciate y'all being in the building, man. I really do. Salute. SJ3, my brother, I see you in the building, man. King Abraham, what's good, bro? Moses Garcia, what up? Michael, what's up, young brother? I see you in the building, man. Life with ODTS, D. Foster J. MPI. Appreciate the super sticker, brother. Appreciate you. Let's get ready to do this, man. It's been a minute, man, since the brother King Ray showed up. Let's do it, man. Let's do it. So, I've been getting a few consultations, man, over the past couple of weeks or so. And guys have been wanting to know, how can I tell when God is trying to bless me because I don't want to block my blessing? And one of the many things that we do as men in this particular society, as people in this particular society, one of the things we do, and this applies to men and women, and not just in relationships, but in every facet of life, we tend to block our own blessing. And how do you block your blessing? You block your blessing by not getting out of God's way and letting him do what he wants to do. Now, join me for tomorrow's show and we'll talk about things that you do, the top 5 things that we do to block our blessings. But today we're going to talk about ways to tell God is trying to bless you, because if you don't know God is blessing you, then you're not going to even know there are no blessings to block, right? Now, here's the first thing that you know. The thing that you're doing starts to slow down or go wrong. I mean, it was good. I mean, it was ready. It was good to go. And suddenly it starts to slow down. It starts to not do as well as it was doing. Your effort didn't change. As a matter of fact, when you start slowing down, you start even trying to ramp up your effort even more. You were giving 110%. You try to give 115. But nothing you do seems to be helping the situation. Now, this is a slippery slope, because in our minds, we try to tell ourselves that this is just a downtime. We're not working as hard. Something we're doing is wrong. Like, we're not handling the business we need to handle. This is what we try to tell ourselves. We try to convince ourselves that this thing that we're doing is what we're supposed to be doing forever. That's why I don't think in terms of forever. Relationships, I don't think forever. Financial opportunities, I don't think forever. Dieting, I don't think forever. Living in one place, I don't think forever. So what you have to do is make sure you don't waste your focus and energy trying to save something that you no longer truly desire. Because here's the thing that happens. Most times when something starts to slow down or go astray or go awry or go wrong, we don't even truly desire that thing the way we once truly did. Now, we may still desire the benefits of it. We may still desire the financial benefits, the connection benefits, the popularity benefits. We may desire all of those things, but you have to make sure that every day you wake up, you are doing something, the thing that you desire. Or the things, if you will, because you're not limited to doing one thing that you desire, but you have to make sure that you're doing something you desire. If you wake up beside a woman every morning, you have to make sure that you desire to wake up beside that woman. If you're a woman, you make up beside a man every morning, you have to make sure that you desire that man you're waking up beside. Desire is one of the greatest things in the world, as long as your desire doesn't become love. See, if this is your man and if this is your man and this is your woman, there is no lust between the two of you. Desire covers more than just physical intimacy. Another thing, you got to remember that God will bless the righteous with the desires of your heart. Not the desires of your body now, not the desires of your loins, the desires of your heart. And you know how They say, hey man, you got to do what your heart is in. If your heart isn't in it anymore, you got to go. I'll give you a perfect example. Lawrence Taylor, greatest linebacker ever played the game. There'll never be another linebacker like him because he is the reason that they created the 4-3 defense. He's the reason that Buddy Ryan created that defense. He created that defense to stop Lawrence Taylor. Defense is still used today on every level, created to stop one guy from wreaking havoc in the opponent's backfield. New York Giants star, Lawrence Taylor, had his struggles, but constantly on the move to try to turn his life around and get a grip and keep a grip on his life. He said, his coach, Bill Parcells, told him, at the moment, you don't have the heart to jump in the pile anymore. Quit the game. And he says he remembered the game. I think he said he was playing against the Cleveland Browns. And say the ball hit the turf and everybody was going at it. And he ran and he just stopped and said, man, I'll forget that. And that was his last season. He retired. When your heart isn't in it, you have to let it go. You can't stay dedicated to something that your heart isn't in, because the desires of your heart are what motivate you more than anything. More than anything. As long as you have control of your spiritual astuteness, as long as you're focused on being the best spiritual version of yourself. Now, if you're just focused on being the best worldly version of yourself and you don't care, you just want to enjoy all of the things of the world that feel good and make you feel good and make you think highly of yourself, okay, fine. That's something else. We're not talking about that, and we're not talking to you unless you're ready to make a transition in your life. So remember, if you lose the desire to do something, think about what it is you desire to do and open your eyes and see if God is trying to bless you with that thing. Another thing, you notice long-term relationships are changing for the worst. They're changing for the worst, man. People who've been around forever, family, friends, long-term relationships, they start to change for the worse. Some of you have some of those relationships in your life right now. They are changing for the worse. You don't understand it. You're looking at it. You're like, well, wait a minute. Well, what's going on? You're trying to fix it. You're trying to fix the relationship. I don't fix relationships. When relationships falter, it is because it's time for that relationship to be done. I make sure that I'm the man I'm supposed to be, and I'm doing the things I'm supposed to do, and I'm being the version of myself that can find grace in the sight of the Most High. And after that, if relationships falter, it is because it's time for them to be done. That's why I tell you men and warn you men about emotional attachment. As a man, you're the leader of the family, the leader of the community, leader of the world. You cannot be driven by emotionality. And I'm going to be honest with you now, I'm not going to make light of this because it's one of the hardest decisions that you're ever going to make. One of the hardest decisions you're ever going to make is to let go of people you know and love. That's the hardest thing to do, man. It keeps you in situations that drive you crazy. It keeps you in situations that stress you out so bad, man, you start having heart palpitations. Famo, salute. And you know that you need to have those people out of your life. You know you need to transition to another level of life, to another area of life, and move away from these people. But it's hard to do because why? Because the familiarity is there. We like familiar things. The worldly version of us likes familiar things. And later on, we'll get into why that's not always a good thing. And most times it's not a good thing. See, everyone's not meant to go with you to the promised land of your life. There's a promised land in all of our lives. You got to make it to that promised land. But everybody's not meant to go there with you. Everybody's not going to go there with you. Some people you want to go there with you just aren't intended to go there with you, and they never were. They never were intended to go there with you. And you got to accept that. You got to embrace the fact that some of those people were not meant to go there with you. Nothing you can do about it. All you can do, you have two choices. You can either let those people go and move on in the direction you need to be going, or you can keep those people and stay where you are. Because if God doesn't intend for them to go to a level with you, as long as they're with you, you're not going to that level. I tell people this all the time. If you look up 10 years later and everybody around you looks the same, then you haven't gone anywhere. You haven't progressed very far. You understand? You haven't made it far. You're probably still in the exact same position, but you're too busy focusing on the things of the world to know that you need to be transitioning and moving on. Another thing, God's love and man's love are not always compatible in your life. You see what I'm saying? Sometimes God love pulls you away from man's love because men love, when I say man, I mean men and women, mankind. God's love and man's love are not always compatible in your life because sometimes God is always pulling you into a positive direction. And sometimes the love of men, the love of women, the love of children, the love of family, the love of friends, it will pull you away from God because the love of man tends to be selfish. It's always going to be self-serving. You understand? At a certain point, the love of humans around you is going to be based on what benefit they can get from it. Sometimes the love is gone, but the actions of that love that keep you at bay or keep your logic at bay, keep you continuing to focus on those people who don't mean you any good, they'll continue those actions. You know what I'm saying? So you got to remember, man, that sometimes God is pulling you away from those people because they don't have the spiritual wherewithal to deserve to be on that next level with you. You understand what I'm saying? And positive people and opportunities start to arrive from places unknown. You see what I'm saying? Most times, the people who are in your life now have done all that they can do as far as positive opportunities, positive experiences, positive connections, because they're on that level where they are for a reason. More than likely, a person that's been around you for an extended period of time, your connections to the next level of life aren't going to come from them. So positive people and opportunities coming from places unknown simply means this: God doesn't reserve your blessings to only come in via people, places, and things you're familiar with. I don't really care what you're familiar with. He got a place he wants you to go. If you want to go there, then you got to be willing sometimes to go to places unknown. You got to be willing to do things unknown. You got to be willing to be around people unknown. Because here's the thing: if you're on level 5 of life, you don't know you. How many people you know on level 7? The majority, if you're on level 5, the majority of people around you aren't on level 7 because you got to be at least on level 6 to be around a bunch of people that's on level 7. Like life is in levels like that. So God taught me a long time ago, don't always be on the scene. I learned this in my 20s. I was probably Markel age when I learned this. Just don't be on the scene all the time. You know what I'm saying? And that's one of the ways that I always improve my odds of getting attraction confirmation from women. Because whenever guys was on the scene, whenever like my partners went out, man, I may have went to everywhere they ever hung out at, man. All the clubs, all the spots they ever hung out at, I probably went to all on once. You understand? And when I showed up, the way it looked, it was like, man, even just riding by the club. Like when the club was packed out, even just riding by. I'm riding by my old school, man, OGs, well-respected guys, that I link up with and get money with. You can hear them out in the crowd, just out in the parking lot when I'm riding through, shouting me out. Why? Because they don't never see me out. You see what I'm saying? My face ain't always on the scene. Even on this particular platform, you want to see BOA, you probably got to come to BOA channel. You don't see BOA bouncing around all over the place, linking up everywhere. And not because I got nothing against nobody, but that ain't how I get down. You know what I'm saying? I learned a long time ago, man, you know what I'm saying? You cheapen your brand by trying to always be the man. You did? So that's how you have to be in life, man. You have to be ready to go to those unfamiliar places and be around those unfamiliar people, because every plug I've ever gotten, man, to get to the next level has always come through somebody new. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I tell you, you got to know energy as well. If you're comfortable in understanding people's energy, then you kind of understand and have a confidence of being around new people. Because if you're one with the Most High and you know what your positive energy is, what righteous spiritual energy is, then you know when you're not around it. You know when you're not around it. I remember I went and met one of my little shorty parents one time, man, and I had been on the man for probably a year before I even went, before I went to meet them. You know what I'm saying? She was like, why don't you meet my parents? I said, I mean, if I ever feel like meeting them, I'll meet them. I ain't in no rush. Well, my mom and dad say that. I don't care what your mom and dad say. You know what I'm saying? I follow God, not your mom and dad. You follow your mom and dad. I don't. So when I finally did, man, as soon as I walked in, man, you know what I'm saying? I told later on, I said, as soon as I walked in, man, I felt the ungodly energy coming off your mom. I felt it as soon as I walked in. As soon as I walked in. And it permeated the environment to where I would, for a minute, I just let them talk. I mean, of course, I talk, answered a few questions and all that, man. But after a while, the energy of the Most High in me started to permeate the environment. So she went from doing a whole bunch of talking to not doing that. I mean, her mom, to not doing nothing. And then her dad's true energy came out. His energy connected with mine, man. And before you know it, man, we end up chopping up, man, talking about slamming bones, man, on each other's head, man, and killing each other and backgammon, man, and doing all that. I'm talking about, man, straight up trash talking like we were partners forever. But you have to know energy. So I don't fear going anywhere because I know energy. And anywhere I go, man, I bring spirit of the Most High with me. The worst thing that could ever happen to me, man, is you could take me out. But guess what? I'm going to go anyway one day. So you got to do more than threaten me to be gone because I got to go one day anyway. Maybe that's my day. So you got to make sure, man, that you stay in line and in tune with the Most High, man, because if you don't, you live in a state of fear. You understand? You live in this state of fear that keeps you from going to the places you need to go, man, in order to receive some of these blessings. You got to be ready to live free, man. You know what living free in? You're not bound by fear. You're not bound by expectations. You're not bound by reservations. You understand? You're not bound by ghetto inclinations. And for my hood guys and gals, man, that's one of the things y'all do the most. Y'all alienate yourself from everybody else by saying it's either hood or nothing else. But that's how you stay in that environment and never get out of it. That's how I was able to navigate it so quickly and get out of it. You know what I'm saying? Like I was out of it, man, while I was still trying to, be the best in it. My plan was always to slide out of it. It was never meant for me to be in. It was meant for me to go in, make my footprint where I needed to with the people I needed to. And because even now, I let that like where I'm from, some of the most respected men around vouch for me. You understand? Vouch for my authenticity, vouch for my realness, vouch for my grind. I mean, kind of vouch a little bit for my craziness too. You know what I'm saying? So I say that to say, man, you got to understand that the environment you're in is not your end goal. You got to have an open mind and be ready to go wherever God is sending you. He may send you from Miami to Washington to Seattle, Washington. That's total opposite ends of this country. But if you got to go, you got to go. You can't live in fear. You can't be second guessing everything. Hey, man, the only mistake you could never make, man, is not taking a chance on the thing you want to do, man. That's the only mistake you can never make. Now, another thing is this, and y'all know this one. Haters will abound. Haters gonna abound, man. When God is trying to bless you, the haters gonna come from everywhere. And that's why that's gonna make it easier to let go of a lot of the people that's around you, because all your haters come from around you. A random person saying something, that ain't a hater, that's a troll. If you don't know me and you got something negative to say just out of the blue about something you don't know nothing about, you're a troll. You're not a hater. Haters come from the people that know you, people that saw you where you were and see you where you are, and then are not even happy about where you're going because they realize you ain't taking them with them. You ain't taking them with you. But don't worry about haters. Fret not thyself because of evildoers. Neither be thou envious against the workers of iniquity, for they shall soon be cut down like grass. You don't worry about them. You let God handle them. You got to keep it moving. See, here's the thing. They can't stop you. Haters can't stop you. Haters can't stop you. You thank your hater. Thank them. Thanks, hater. They can't stop you. That's one of the telltale signs that God is trying to bless you, man. So thank them for showing up. Thank them for doing their job and showing up. But they can't stop you. All they can do is make you stop yourself by focusing on their words instead of God's direction for you. You see what I'm saying? Haters can only stop you by making you stop yourself. Haters only get in the way of what you're doing by making you focus on their foolishness. That's all they can do. All the focus and determination, drive that you need to go where you're going, you don't have one iota of it to focus on the hater. So their goal is to make you focus on them. That's all they want to do. Man, you'll be surprised, man, of some of the pieces of content, man, that my guys send me, man. It's just a bunch of hating, but it don't matter. I don't care. I'm focused on something else. See, when I look in front of me, let me tell y'all something. When you look in front of you in the direction you're supposed to be going, ain't no haters over there. Because everybody that's in front of you is at the level you trying to get to. They ain't got no time to be hating on you. If they hate, they hating on somebody that's on a level in front of them. If you focusing on your haters, you focusing behind you or beneath you. Depending on what your preferred direction is. If you want to go straight or you want to go up. Either way it goes, you're focusing. Your haters are in the position that you aren't trying to be in. You're already past that position. Haters don't hate until you pass them. Trust me. Haters don't hate until you pass them. In any facet of life. So don't focus on those guys. They mean absolutely nothing. They mean nothing, man. Now, here's the fifth thing, the final thing. This is a big one, man. This is the one that you need to focus the most on. Because until this happens, then you're blocking your blessing. And again, y'all join me tomorrow for tomorrow's show, man, 7:30 a.m. Central Standard Time, where we'll discuss 5 ways you continue to block your own blessing and blame other people for being in the way. Now, the path will suddenly become clearer and the road easier to travel. That's how you know God is blessing you, not trying to bless you anymore. That's how you know God is blessing you. Because all these other things, you got to navigate these things before the path becomes clearer and the road becomes easier to travel. Now, am I saying it's going to be a cakewalk? No, it's not going to be the Smurfs. La, 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 la. No, it's not going to be a Smurf walk. You know what I'm saying? And if it is, there's going to be a whole bunch of gargamels on there. So what I'm saying is, when you drop the dead weight of the people who don't belong around you, you know that thing we said up top where it was one of the hardest decisions to let go of people you know and love. When you drop that dead weight, you will suddenly have more stamina for your journey. A lot of men are on their journey. A lot of women are on their journey, and it's a tough journey because you're carrying all that dead weight. I don't care how strong you are. Let me tell y'all what y'all do. I want all y'all, if you got some 5-pound dumbbells at home, do this. If you ain't got some, go get some. You need some anyway. Go get some 5-pound dumbbell to do that shoulder blast warm up, man. You need to get you some 5-pound dumbbell. And what I want you to do, I want you to, the cardio you normally do, I want you to hold those 5-pound dumbbells while you're doing that cardio. The entire time. If you do an hour cardio, hold them 5-pound dumbbell while you're doing that cardio. I don't care if you're riding a bike, well, a stationary bike, of course. I don't care if you're on treadmill. I don't care if you're walking in the park. I don't care if you're walking on the track. I don't care if you're I don't care if you're doing a stepper. I don't care what you're doing, man. I don't care whatever you're doing. I want you to hold hold a 5-pound dumbbell in each hand while you're doing your cardio. And tell me how much different your cardio feels and how many more calories you burn. And how much more worn out you are after you do that. Dead weight starts light. One person is too much dead weight. One enemy is too much dead weight. One hater is too much dead weight. So the path will suddenly become clearer and the road easier to travel because when you drop dead weight, you'll have more stamina for the journey. Also, when you remove distractions, your 20/20 vision will become tunnel vision. See, 2020 vision is good. When we go get our eyes checked, we all want to say you got 2020 vision. Sometime 2015, 2020 vision. You want that 2020 vision. But what's even better than 2020 vision is tunnel vision. Because with 2020 vision, you see everything. With tunnel vision, you see the goal. 2020, everything. Oh, the world is such a beautiful place. Look at the world. Oh my God, what have you done? You've created such a masterpiece. Tunnel vision, I'm going. I'm going. I'm going. You can't see the world. Tunnel vision, you see what's in front of you. All of a sudden, the road becomes clear. The path is super clear because you got tunnel vision. All you see is the path. All you see is the path. Also, when you get out of God's way, he'll trust you not to block your blessings. And the path, it's like Hansel and Gretel. You drop those breadcrumbs so you can find your way back. See what I'm saying? When you get out of God's way, he'll trust you not to block your blessings. And he'll stop feeding them to you like a baby. So you got to earn your blessings being dumped on you, man. You being poured on you, man. You know, we hear the term, God will pour out his blessings on you, but you got to be ready for those blessings to be poured on you. How you going to pour blessings on you when he give you a baby spoon and you can't even handle that? It's like a baby, bruh. You know what I'm saying? When you get off the bottle, then you go to a sipping cup. You don't go from a bottle. You don't go from a baby bottle to drinking out a water bottle. No, you go from a sipping cup. You go from a baby bottle to a sipping cup. Then you go to a big kid cup. The first sipping cup you have, you got to drink out of it like a bottle. Then you move to a cup where you can just drink. It just come in your mouth. Then they take the top off your cup. Oh man, you're a big boy now. You're a big girl now. But this is how it goes. You got to be ready, man. You got to be ready to stop blocking your blessing. And y'all join me tomorrow, 7:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. We'll be here and we will discuss how not to block your blessing. 5 ways you're blocking your blessings and blaming other people for being in the way when it's you the whole time. Hey, man, I appreciate y'all coming through, man, for this early morning King Ray Ray show, man. Let's go ahead, man, and get physical with the King Ray Ray channel, man. Let's do it. Got some great topics coming up for y'all on this channel, man. It's going to be phenomenal. Y'all trust me when I tell you, man, it's going to be a stone cold blast, man. Look, appreciate y'all being in the joint, man. Famo, SJ3, Green Label Gang. Hey, man, if you're listening right now and you want to be a part of this chat, what you see is a different kind of chat than you can go anywhere else on this platform. Go to the main channel page. Next to the subscribe button, you'll see join. Click that join button, become a member. Also, if you know you haven't clicked that subscribe button, don't pass by it. Click both of them. Click your notifications so you'll know whenever we come in to the kingdom. Y'all put God first. Keep grinding and growing. And spend the rest of this day making sure you understand if God is trying to bless you so you can stop blocking. Peace.